welcome to this week's version of Advantage Coaching. And I am here with my good friend and fellow real estate peer who I've been in what's called the Broker Council now for about 10 or 15 years. So I'm with one of my favorite people in real estate, Dewey Mitchell. And Dewey is the president of Berkshire Hathaway, Florida. And I know I want you to give your background and everything, but also Dewey's one of my favorite people to talk to because he actually played football at the University of Alabama, and he was coached by the world famous, of course, Coach Bear Bryant. And then also one of the coolest things I know about him as well is that he also participated in the 1984 Olympics for the U.S. Olympic team as a judo contestant. So I always have so much to talk to about. I have sports, I have football, I have judo to talk to him, all this stuff, and then of course there's real estate. But today, what we really wanted to focus on is, first of all, Dewey, we'd like for you to tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay.
And then what we'd like to do is we'd love to hear a little bit more about what you learned from Coach Bryant.
Okay. So I grew up on a cattle ranch just outside of Tampa, Florida, and started doing judo when I was 5 years old and did that on through into high school and then, of course, into college as well. And had the opportunity to play football at the University of Alabama and very grateful for that. And so I played football for 4 years and actually hadn't graduated yet.
Won a national championship one year, I believe.
Yeah, and I coached for a year and a half afterwards, which was a whole different learning experience for me, because it was a lot different seeing Coach Bryant in the coach's office than it was out on the field. And I found that very enlightening and a lot of fun. And then after I finished, I got married in 1979 to my beautiful wife of almost 45 years now, and then ended up going to the Olympics in 1984.
And did you get your real estate license? Is that something you knew you wanted to do right away after you finished your career in athletics?
No, it wasn't. Believe it or not, that's kind of a long story. I started out selling printing paper when I got out of college. And my business partner, Alan Crumley, was one of my teammates.
Played also at Alabama with you, yep.
And he was selling corrugated boxes up in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to talk him into moving to Florida, and I would send him all the ads in the newspaper. And he came down and went to several different interviews. And my father called up a real estate guy that he'd been dealing with and asked him to interview him. They ended up hiring him to sit on a office project, and so then I ended up getting my license.
Really,
and that's how we started. And
you and Alan both did commercial, and you still do commercial transactions today.
Yep, that's true. Yep, I'm mostly a land guy. Alan does office buildings and retail centers.
Yep. So how did you get to be where you built this great big business with Berkshire Hathaway, Florida?
Well, we ended up buying the company in 1984, and it was a very small company, about 10 agents total. And, we were commercial guys, so most of the business, it was about 85% commercial. Well, when the 1985 tax law or 84 tax laws came about, they made some drastic changes to the commercial real estate and how it was handled from a tax standpoint. They did away with the long-term depreciation, and they did away with investment tax credits, and and it basically crushed the savings and loan industry.
Oh yeah, right.
And there we were, commercial guys, and we thought, well, we better start thinking about residential real estate.
Needed to change the model.
We thought that it would be more stable.
Yeah.
And also something that would be a better investment over the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we got into the residential business. We bought a Prudential franchise.
That's right.
We were one of the very first companies in the country to have a Prudential franchise, and stayed with that all the way to the very end. And when Berkshire Hathaway purchased Prudential's real estate network, we ended up signing on with Berkshire Hathaway, and here we are.
And now you have how many offices?
We've got 16 now.
16.
At our peak, we were at 22, but we took some of the smaller boutique offices, and we just didn't renew some of the leases, and
how many agents and
we're about 950.
900. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so you are one of the privileged people in the world to have been coached by Coach Bear
Right.
Bryant.
Yep.
And how did you take the lessons that you learned from Coach Bryant and put it into your business and your life and now what you've done?
Yeah. Well, I will say that probably, of course, he taught about doing the little things, making sure that you had good habits and those little things would turn into big things. Nick Saban calls it the process.
Right.
Yeah. But it was really the same thing. Coach Bryant just had a little bit different nomenclature of it. But, we focused on doing those little things and he wanted us to get a little bit better every day.
Get better every day.
Yeah.
I say that to our agents all the time.
And about once or twice a year, he would come into the meeting and talk to the team, and he'd say, "Guys, I know you're tired. I'm tired. The coaches are tired. We're all tired." He said, "But what you don't understand is 20 years from now, you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to be tired, and the mortgage is going to be late, and your wife is going to be mad at you about something. The kids are going to be sick. What are you going to do? Are you just going to lay there, or are you going to get up and fight?"
Resilience.
Yeah. And so he was really, really, really good about, making sure that we understood that game of football we were playing at the time had a lot of parallels to the game of life.
Mhm.
And believe me, there's been many times when, that I've laid up all night long wondering how I was going to make payroll.
Right.
And so those lessons really, really helped out way more than I ever thought about it at the time.
Right. Right. So when you're looking back now, what is your favorite memory of Coach Bryant?
Well, I'll tell you the most inspiring thing that he ever said, and he said a lot of things, but the one that really sticks out to me was we were going out to play the University of Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
It's my senior year. They were ranked number one in the country. We had lost earlier in the year to Nebraska, and we had a meeting on Wednesday, team meeting before we went out on the field.
Yep.
Which we typically did. And Coach Bryant walked in one day and on that Wednesday, and he said, "Guys," he said, "there isn't anybody in the United States of America thinks we have a chance to win this week except me." And the whole team, we all got goosebumps, and we just believed so much in what he was saying and what he meant. And we went out there and beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close, right? Didn't you win by more?
No, it was close.
All right.
It was close. It was close, but we beat him. And but nobody thought we had a chance to win that game. And he was so inspiring in that regard, and he knew that we had put in the work
Yeah.
that we needed to put in
Right.
to be successful.
Right. So you see him. What I hear you saying is he was inspirational.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it wasn't just inspiration. It was, hey, these are the details.
Yeah.
These are the things you've got to take care of. This is the process.
Yeah.
Build your systems better.
Right.
Keep getting better every day. All those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And persevere. There's
resilience.
Because resilience.
Yes.
And good habits and doing those little things and just trying to get a little bit better every day.
Because everything's not going to be smooth sailing.
No.
You're going to lose to Nebraska.
Right.
You're going to have whatever but you've got these other opportunities ahead.
That's
too.
right.
And that's the great thing, I think, also in our business is that you and I have both seen that go up and down.
Oh yeah.
Up and down.
Very much so.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And so, but we always know that there's change.
Right.
Right. But we always know that also there's opportunity.
Yep.
Right. And if you're prepared for it and you're resilient, you can deal with it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And we had several large changes when I was in college.
Right. You were telling me last night. You were telling me about you moved to the 35-man.
Oh yeah. Well, the group that I was in was the first year of 30-person scholarship.
30 scholarships a year.
And then my sophomore season, the NCAA in their infinite wisdom came up with a program where the home team could take 60 players to a game. The away team can only take 48.
Wow.
Yeah. And that
doesn't make
happened
any
the whole
sense.
year.
Oh my gosh.
And and I was a sophomore and I wasn't starting. And so there were a couple of games early in the year that I didn't make the travel squad.
Oh wow.
Because it was down to 48.
Oh my gosh.
And then later on in the year, they found out I could kick. And so, not
Did you
punt-
kick?
not punt, but I could kick. And well, I wasn't the first team
Right. You
kicker,
were the first.
but they ended up taking
Yeah.
me. I ended up making the travel squad because I could kick in case the kicker got hurt.
By the way, for
And-
those that don't know, is Dewey was the starting middle linebacker. So here he is, the starting middle linebacker who's also can kick
Yeah,
and do judo.
yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that we had a lot of adversity while we were there, and but he, he taught that perseverance and fighting through and just keep doing the right things and the little things and that ultimately there would be success.
So
Yeah, he would say, now, you know what, the first play of the game, guy might come and knock your head halfway off, and the second play, he may do the same thing. But if you'll keep hitting and going back and going back and going back, by the third quarter, he's gonna say, I can't do this.
right,
And then by the end of the game, you're gonna
win the fourth quarter.
And he gave us that mental attitude that allowed us to do that.
Then the strength and everything. That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Do you have anything from Coach Bryant that you keep or any? All I can think of is this. Who gets? Do you have one of the hats somewhere?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't have any of the hats or those things.
They're priceless,
yeah,
right?
they would be. Yeah, I have a photo of him. It was taken during a timeout. We were actually playing against Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the signal caller on defense. So during timeouts, I would go talk to him
Yeah.
on the sideline. And the newspaper, local newspaper, the Tuscaloosa News, actually took a picture of when I was over on the sideline
Talking to
with
Coach
or
Bryant.
I say talking. I was listening to
You were listening to Coach Bryant, right? He taught you to listen too.
Oh yeah. And it was a really good picture, and I've got that. That's probably the biggest keepsake.
I would
from it.
love a copy of that. You
Yeah.
got to send it to all of us.
All right. Well, I'll try to remember to do
All
that. I
right.
need to go write that down.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But anyway,
Well, Dewey, it's been a pleasure. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the
Yeah.
time, and we appreciate you as a friend and a
Yeah.
peer and all the things that you do.
and likewise, buddy. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. So that's it for this week with Advantage Coaching, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.